The glittering world of celebrity lifestyle often presents a seamless illusion of effortless luxury, where private jets, red carpets, and endless privilege are simply accepted as the baseline of daily existence. For decades, the public has consumed media filled with images of wealthy dynasties passing down immense fortunes. Cultivating an environment where the children of the rich and famous are instantly introduced to a life of unparalleled comfort from the moment they are born. We watch them travel to exotic destinations, wear designer clothing, and move through the world with a sense of security that the average person can only dream of achieving. This constant exposure to extreme wealth has created a fascinating cultural conversation about how the next generation of privilege is being raised, prompting many onlookers to wonder whether growing up in such an insulated environment distorts a young person's understanding of reality, hard work, and the true value of a dollar. It raises deep, complex questions about parenting in the spotlight. Specifically, how self-made individuals who earn their own fortunes navigate the delicate balance between providing comfort for their families and preventing their children from developing a sense of unearned entitlement. As we delve into this fascinating dynamic, please take a quick moment to subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications so you never miss an in-depth analysis of the trends shaping modern culture and entertainment. The central dilemma of modern affluent parenting often revolves around a singular, pressing question, which is how to instill humility and a strong work ethic into children who have never known financial hardship or structural lack. In a society that increasingly values transparency and authentic personal development, a growing number of wealthy public figures are beginning to challenge the traditional norms of generational luxury by implementing unconventional, and sometimes highly controversial, rules within their own households. These methods frequently spark fierce debates across social media platforms and morning talk shows, dividing public opinion between those who view these strict boundaries as a necessary form of tough love and those who see them as unnecessarily harsh or performative. The public fascination with these behind-the-scenes family dynamics reveals a deeper collective anxiety about wealth distribution, personal responsibility, and the methods used by the elite to ground their families in a fast-paced world. The conversation has recently reached a fever pitch following unexpected public disclosures from prominent lifestyle entrepreneurs and media personalities who are rewriting the playbook on how to raise children under the intense glare of the Hollywood spotlight. When a parent occupies a unique position of financial independence, having built a multi-million-dollar empire through sheer determination, reality television prominence, and savvy business maneuvers, their approach to motherhood is viewed through a highly critical lens. The expectation is often that these families will move through the world as a singular unit of luxury, sharing the exact same perks of success whether they are dining at exclusive restaurants or traveling across the globe for family vacations. However, the reality behind closed doors is shifting rapidly as some high-profile mothers choose to draw a definitive, unmistakable line between their personal financial achievements and the lifestyle their children are automatically entitled to experience. This separation of wealth within a single household introduces an entirely new layer of tension to the narrative of celebrity family life, challenging the conventional wisdom that a parent's success should naturally dictate the immediate comfort level of their offspring. This philosophy suggests that true gratitude and character cannot be inherited or given as a gift, but must instead be forged through the experience of ordinary limitations, even when extraordinary luxury is just a few rows of seats away. The psychological impact of these parenting choices extends far beyond the immediate moment of a family trip or a shared household rule, influencing how these children perceive their own identities and future aspirations. By deliberately withholding certain luxuries, these wealthy parents are attempting to create an artificial environment of scarcity, forcing their children to confront the realities of the ordinary world that most people navigate daily. This approach demands that the children acknowledge the vast difference between their parents' hard-earned resources and their own personal financial standing, establishing a clear boundary that prevents the blurring of lines between family wealth and individual capability. Critics often argue that such measures are contradictory, noting that it is impossible to truly replicate an ordinary upbringing when surrounded by immense institutional privilege. While supporters maintain that even small boundaries can make a profound difference in the long-term development of a child's character, The unfolding debate highlights a broader cultural shift where the traditional displays of effortless family luxury are being replaced by deliberate, calculated lessons in financial independence and personal accountability, leaving audiences to wonder exactly where the line should be drawn between effective parenting and public spectacle as the next generation grows up under these unique conditions. The conversation surrounding these unconventional methods of affluent parenting found its definitive catalyst during a recent, highly publicized media appearance that sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry and sparked intense debates online. Kristin Cavallari, the 39-year-old millennial mother, lifestyle entrepreneur, and reality television icon, openly pulled back the curtain on her family dynamics during a candid conversation on the popular show Aspire with Emma Grade. With a reported net worth of approximately $30 million, largely accumulated through her highly successful jewelry and lifestyle brand Uncommon James, Cavallari made a revelation that immediately captivated the public and divided commentators. She explicitly stated that during family trips, she enforces a strict rule where her 3 children must sit in the coach section of commercial airplanes, while she enjoys the comfort and amenities of first class. The rationale behind this decision is deeply rooted in her desire to combat the bubble of extreme privilege that naturally surrounds her family, as she emphasized that her children are growing up in a remarkably fortunate situation and must understand the boundaries of wealth. By stating plainly that the money supporting their lifestyle belongs exclusively to her and not to them, Cavallari sought to establish a clear distinction between parental achievement and child entitlement. Explaining that this specific boundary became incredibly important to her the exact moment her children became old enough to travel independently. The reaction from the interviewer, Emma Grade, mirrored the immediate astonishment of the wider public, as she questioned how difficult it must be for a mother to separate herself from her children and withhold support during long flights. Cavallari, however, remained entirely unapologetic and shot back with an explanation that highlighted her firm, no-nonsense approach, describing how she cheerfully bids them goodbye as they head to the back of the aircraft. This stark visual of a multi-millionaire mother relaxing in the front of the plane while her 13-year-old son Camden, 12-year-old son Jackson, and 10-year-old daughter Sailor sit in economy class quickly became a viral talking point, shifting the narrative from a simple celebrity interview to a broader cultural debate on the psychology of wealth and modern parenting. To fully comprehend the tension within this dynamic, it is necessary to examine how Cavallari's parenting philosophy has evolved alongside the ages of her children and the changing structure of her personal life. She clarified that when Camden, Jackson, and Sailor were younger, she would always sit with them in the main cabin, constantly managing the chaos of travel and hoping they would not fight during the flight. Now that they have entered their preteen and teenage years, she firmly believes they are capable of handling the ordinary discomforts of coach travel, viewing these instances as vital, long-term lessons in character building. The tension surrounding this household dynamic is further amplified by the complexities of Cavallari's co-parenting relationship with her ex-husband, 43-year-old retired National Football League quarterback Jay Cutler. Following the high-profile end of their 7-year marriage in 2020, which was legally finalized in 2022, the former couple has shared custody of their 3 children, with Cutler taking them every other weekend. Cavallari has publicly claimed that she receives no financial support from her ex-husband, a detail that underscores her fierce pride in her financial independence and her desire to pass that self-reliant mindset down to her children. While Cavallari manages her burgeoning business empire and commands public attention with her tour, Honestly Cavallari, the headline tour, and her successful podcast, Let's Be Honest, her ex-husband has frequently made headlines for entirely different, far more turbulent reasons. Last August, Cutler drew significant media scrutiny after entering a plea deal stemming from a 2024 arrest in Tennessee for driving under the influence and unlawful gun possession. The details of that incident revealed that Cutler's blood alcohol content was 3 times the legal limit, resulting in a 12-month suspension of his driver's license, a brief 2-day jail sentence, a year of supervised probation, and a fine. The contrast between Cavallari's highly structured, disciplined approach to wealth and her ex-husband's public legal struggles adds a palpable layer of complexity to the environment in which their children are being raised. In her household, the expectation of hard work is non-negotiable, and the children are actively discouraged from believing that their mother's millions will shield them from the realities of labor. To illustrate this point, Cavallari shared that during the previous summer, both of her young sons were required to create and operate their own small neighborhood businesses to earn their own spending money. One of her boys spent his summer vacation washing residential windows, while the other was tasked with cleaning out neighbors' dirty garbage cans, a deliberate choice meant to teach them that if they desire something in life, they must work for it and make it happen through their own effort. This insistence on manual labor, combined with the forced segregation on airplanes, creates a striking portrait of a mother determined to prevent the corrosive effects of unearned luxury from taking root in her children's characters. Interestingly, this polarizing parenting strategy is not entirely unique to the founder of Uncommon James, as other prominent figures within the entertainment industry have recently hinted at practicing similar boundaries. Just last month, singer and television personality Nick Lachey appeared on Watch What Happens Live and recounted an awkward, unexpected run-in with his ex-wife, Jessica Simpson, during a flight from Los Angeles to Kauai. Lachey noted that while he was traveling, he observed that Simpson's 3 children, all under the age of 14, were seated entirely separately in a different cabin class from their mother. This revelation suggested to audiences that the practice of separating wealthy parents from their offspring during travel might be a broader, quiet trend among certain segments of the Hollywood elite who are desperate to instill a sense of normalcy in their families. The public reaction to these disclosures remains fiercely divided, with critics pointing out that flying coach is hardly a struggle when a child knows they are returning to a multi-million-dollar mansion at the end of the trip, while proponents argue that any boundary separating a child from instant gratification is a victory in modern society. This ongoing clash of perspectives keeps the spotlight firmly fixed on Cavallari and her peers, as the public watches to see whether these calculated lessons in humility will successfully produce independent adults, or simply create further fascination with the unique trials of growing up wealthy. To truly comprehend the weight of Kristin Cavallari's parenting philosophy, and why this airplane seating arrangement has captured the public imagination so intensely, one must look backward at the trajectory of her own life and career. Long before she was a powerhouse entrepreneur with a $30 million empire, Cavallari was thrust into the unrelenting spotlight of reality television as a teenager in the early 2000s. She first captured national attention on the groundbreaking MTV series Laguna Beach, The Real Orange County, which aired from 2004 to 2006. Followed later by her prominent role on the hit spin-off series The Hills from 2009 to 2010. Growing up in the affluent enclave of Laguna Beach, California, she witnessed firsthand the intense pressures, hypermaterialism, and unique psychological traps that wealthy environments can inflict on young people. She saw how easily teenagers surrounded by effortless luxury could lose their drive, succumb to entitlement, or stumble under the weight of unearned privilege. Having navigated that precarious world herself and transitioned successfully from a polarizing reality television star into a highly respected self-made businesswoman, Cavallari possesses a profound, first-hand understanding of what it takes to survive the toxic elements of wealth. Her current parenting choices, therefore, are not random or impulsive, they are a direct, defensive response to her own life experiences and a calculated attempt to shield her children from the very pitfalls she observed during her formative years in the public eye. This backstory clarifies why she is so unyielding when she tells Camden, Jackson, and Saylor that the wealth surrounding them belongs strictly to her, forcing them into the crowded rows of coach while she sits up front. It is an intentional disruption of the wealthy California bubble she knows all too well, serving as a physical, undeniable boundary that requires her children to experience the ordinary frustrations of delayed gratification and limited personal space. By examining her past, the narrative shifts from a story about a seemingly harsh travel rule into a deeply protective maternal strategy designed to forge resilience in an environment that naturally discourages it. The broader significance of this discussion extends far beyond the specific seating charts of commercial airlines or the summer chores of celebrity children, touching upon a massive cultural anxiety regarding wealth inequality, parenting ethics, and the definition of success in the modern era. When a high-profile figure like the Uncommon James founder broadcasts her domestic policies, it holds up a mirror to society, forcing ordinary viewers and wealthy elites alike to question what parents truly owe their offspring. Is it the duty of a successful parent to provide the maximum amount of comfort and safety that their resources can buy? Or is it more responsible to intentionally introduce discomfort as a tool for character development? This question is particularly resonant for the millennial generation of parents who are actively rethinking traditional concepts of inheritance and family structure, often favoring experiential learning and emotional independence over the blind accumulation of generational wealth. Critics of Cavallari's approach argue that her methods are fundamentally flawed and performative, asserting that a few hours in a coach seat or a summer spent washing garbage cans cannot genuinely replicate the lived experience of financial struggle when the children ultimately return home to a secure, luxurious estate. These skeptics believe that such boundaries create an artificial narrative of hardship that is easily undone by the overarching reality of their mother's immense institutional privilege. Conversely, supporters of her ideology maintain that in a world where wealthy children are routinely insulated from any form of inconvenience, even small symbolic boundaries are crucial for psychological grounding, helping to cultivate empathy for the average person and preventing the formation of an arrogant, elitist worldview. This ideological battle ensures that every public disclosure regarding her family life is met with intense analysis, as society grapples with the boundaries of parental responsibility and the true meaning of raising grounded children. As Camden, Jackson, and Saylor continue their journey toward adulthood under these unique household conditions, the long-term impact of Cavallari's parenting experiment will undoubtedly reveal itself in the choices they make and the independent paths they forge. The deliberate contrast between their structured, labor-heavy summers and the turbulent public life of their father, Jay Cutler, further emphasizes the complex matrix of influences shaping their development as individuals. While they navigate the traditional trials of adolescence under the watchful eye of a mother who demands self-reliance, they are also forced to witness the very public, very real consequences of adult missteps in the media. This duality ensures that their upbringing is anything but ordinary, despite their mother's best efforts to enforce the humility of the economy cabin. The unfolding story of this family highlights the reality that